Hello, snowboarders of the internet. We're your hosts, Kevin Hub, Averin Lefebvre, and this is the Angrysnowboarder podcast. And you're either watching it on YouTube or listening to it on Podbean, Stitcher, Google Play, but not iTunes.
Not iTunes!
iTunes denied us yet again to be on the podcast. Last time, no problem. This time we set up a new podcast, not allowed. So we're not allowed on there.
I don't know if we were... I don't know.
I only use Apple products. I don't know why they don't like me.
Yeah, you really do, though. Like, for real. Apple, if you're paying attention, it's literally all he uses. I don't. But it's all he uses.
It is all that I use. Anyways, it's been a month since the last podcast. I know a lot of people were hoping that we would be talking about 2020 product. We are not. We are going to do a specific 2020 product preview podcast, which it's going to be really hard for you people that just listen to us on the internet and don't watch us on YouTube. But Kevin will be at SIA. He's going to snap a bunch of photos. I will not be at SIA because I just don't care. I think SIA is irrelevant right now.
Yeah, it is. And now they're charging for media, which they didn't ever used to. And it's really not worth the money to go down there. I'm getting in for free because I know people, not that Averin doesn't, but it's worth it for me to go down there for this and for my other job.
Yeah.
So I'm going down, but yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have a whole, we're going to do that probably after, so it'll be a week from
Thursday is when I'm going, so maybe
Thursday, and then we
right
got
around there is probably when
yeah, it'll be a week or two, depending when I edit this podcast together. But we'll have that all done. Full product preview, going through catalog by catalog. We'll have links to all the digital catalogs that we can, so you can follow along by what pages we're talking about. I'm spending all day Saturday this week actually going through, taking notes on everything. I'm doing that, so that'll be going on. Let's see what else is going on.
I had my first celebrity selfie.
Kevin did have his first with Steve OK.
Yep.
That's literally his name, Steve OK.
And if he's listening to this and or watching this, I was a little caught off guard, and I also am now finally getting over being sick, so in the rest of this podcast, if you hear me dying of coughing, that's what that is. And I was starting to feel shitty literally that day when I met you. So if you felt like I was kind of vibing you out, or I just wasn't as stoked to meet you, then that's why. Because I was starting to feel like death at that point. I ended up with a fever of 102 that night, so it got pretty bad. So it was rad to meet you. That was pretty cool. I got a selfie with somebody. That's
knocked that
weird.
One off. You can knock that one off your list.
But yeah, so that happened.
Let's see.
What else we got?
Evidently, we offended a few people with the last podcast. Yeah, especially talking about YouTube vloggers because.
Dude, honestly, I did not expect to really offend people during that one all that much. Like I thought maybe a couple people might be upset for some reason, but in general, that wasn't. We
didn't knock anyone.
Really knock anybody.
I just said that I would call them out when the time was right to call them out. And what I mean by that is all these guys showing people how to go out access gates into slack country or in the back country and not showing them Beacon Shovel Probe or Janice Spiteri just walking off the highway. Someone is going to fucking die. And
literally die.
Literally
that's not an exaggeration.
That's not an exaggeration. And that's what I mean by call them out. And also, I noticed a lot of them are endorsing these really generic shit goggle companies. Please stop that. You're hurting people's eyes. You're going to cause them to go blind. But the best one had to be from this guy named Joe Postma. This is absolutely hilarious. This came out. This comment came in the day after I did the top 5 reasons weekend warriors are the most core snowboarders. This guy's like, remember your vid about core snowboarders? They watch all the vlogs and they buy shit. Get a brain, you damn dummy. And, you know, I hyped Casey in that video because Casey Willex is my boy and I will hype him forever. It is Casey who I stopped watching because he always talking about his feelings and his meditation and his spiritual BS that makes his life so great. When actually his daddy pays for all of his shit, right? Casey is a freaking fruitcake. Got to listen to his spiritual BS constantly and how his life is so much better than the rest of ours, etc. Screw him. I've learned nothing about boarding from Casey. All I've learned from Casey is how to be a mooch and sneak free shit. Well, I mean, I probably shouldn't say this, but Casey's dad is literally dead. So his dad doesn't pay for anything. Like, that dude grew up without a dad because he died. So, and part of the reason Casey's whole blessed life thing is he understands that we will all die at some point. So he's going to get the most out of it. As far as him being a mooch, no, I consider that actually really great marketing in getting people to support him because he hustled for years to get a company to support him. And with the dynamic of snowboarding changing...
Yeah, Casey didn't get to this point overnight.
No.
He worked for it.
He worked for it. I mean,
Yeah.
I can remember the years that he would work landscaping like 16-hour days and save all his money and then come out to Colorado. And we had a friend, Ryan, that owns a couple properties that was giving him cheaper rent and stuff, or sometimes just forgetting to pick up the rent checks because that's how Ryan was. And that was it. But the next paragraph is, this thing just gets more comedic as it goes on. He's like, TJ at Board Archive sends it constantly, reviews all sorts of shit that we core boarders then buy and keep pricks like you afloat, you FDH. I have no clue what FDH is.
FDH.
Fucking dummy head?
Fucking dummy head.
Fucking dummy head. That's what I'm going.
Yep.
And I wouldn't really say he sends it. I mean, he's like a low-level regional rider.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good rider.
He's a good rider. I'm not knocking that.
Send it. You know, he's not Pat Moore.
Right. Then I love the next one. Kevin at Snowboard Pro Camp is the chillest, kindest dude who you can learn how to board from day one just by watching a few of his vids. A total class act. Something you know nothing about. Well, I don't pretend to be the nicest guy. I'm literally like the guy that's old and crusty and fucking hates you. And David Jones is the kind of guy you hope your daughter meets one day. I don't necessarily agree with that. If I had a daughter, probably not. Buckhouse sends it. Ooh, no, he doesn't. And is so happy and enthusiastic all the time. Yes, he is. Napton is happy and fulfilled that we watch his vids. Chris Ayres is such a cool dude, and so is Andreas Schubert. I have no clue who Andreas is. I think that's the shop guy that hangs out with Snowboard Pro Camp. And they barely produce anything, but watching them shred is like a dream. And you know what? When random people recognize them on the lift or the hill, they engage and they ask them about boarding. They say thanks for saying hi. They genuinely tell them to have a good day. They take a few pics with them, etc. You are such an amazing DH. Dummy head?
Dummy head.
Dummy head.
Yep.
You deserve to go under. You're lucky you have a business in a resort town. Else no one would ever like you or tolerate you enough to hire you ever. You got problems, dude. Figure yourself out. Well, so I actually work for a company. Like, literally work for, like, I was hired. I've been noticed as being one of their best employees 4 years in a row. The new general manager that was brought in actually thanked me and profusely, I think it was more or less, please don't quit because we'd be screwed without you. So there's that.
And the one time that I was with you that we ran into somebody that actually recognized us, like, granted, he didn't ask for a photo, but we were nice to him. We said thanks for watching. Like, I mean, we weren't assholes. Like,
no, I don't get it.
Like,
If he's butthurt because I basically said I will not ride a chairlift with people. That's my time. When I'm on my time, that's mine. It kind of reminds me of when I was working with Never Summer and the owner's wife saw Gene Simmons at SIA. And Gene's like at a spaghetti, like fine Italian dinner, eating some spaghetti, and they like geeked out on him and he's trying to eat. No celebrity wants you to fucking do that. I'm not even saying I'm a celebrity. I have my time, and my time is my time. I will not make time for you. I will not acknowledge you. I might say thank you, and that is it, but I'm not going to ride with you. I'm doing me. Like, I have enough issues in my life that snowboarding is my thing. Like, my Bruce, who used to be our ad sales guy, I ran into him at the gym today, and he's like, dude, I need a bunch of die cuts. There's a bunch of guys freaking out about you over at Copper because they saw my Angrysnowboarder pin on my goggle strap. And they're like, I've followed Angry for years and blah, blah, blah. And Bruce is like, well, he rides Copper occasionally and with me. So I was like, yeah, go give him a bunch of stuff. But, I mean, I don't own a business in a resort town. Like, I'm working for the man, and they're paying that. So, I mean, I don't know. It was kind of funny how much name dropping this guy gave. And
I know. Like, what was the purpose of that? What was the purpose of dropping all the names? Like,
I don't know.
That comment would have been, I mean, it wasn't effective, but it would have been just as effective had he just said all the other ones that I've had experiences with. or something. Like, you didn't need to name
I feel like
that.
there's this whole thing with YouTube and stuff where you get such a glimpse into people's lives that you feel that you are friends with them and that you take like an ownership.
Yeah.
Whereas with me, I'm like, that's the vlogger side.
Right.
And I'm not a vlogger.
Right.
We do videos. I will not vlog. I don't want you in my life.
We're media. There's a big difference.
Media. And this goes into what I'm working for and what we're going to see with Angry Snowboarder VIP in the next few months and the relaunch. But how to do things. Like, I've got power moves I want to make for us, and I've got ideas to take things to the next level. And the growth that we're seeing is because we're not, like, if you want, it's the same thing when someone tells me, you should do it this way, so you want me to be this person. I'm not going to be that person. I will never be that person. I did find, though, that we ended up having a little bit of a conversation with Joe Postma here, and he's like, so I called him out. I was like, oh, here we go. Armchair quarterback extreme with a dash of psychoanalyst for good measure. You really got all of us pegged. You know the true stories there. It's amazing how much you can project in one comment. You are literally the problem of all snowboarding. Yes, people like that are what I consider the biggest issues with it.
They're a huge issue, for sure.
They're a huge issue. But it was pretty funny because I put it up on our Facebook, so anyone that knows me knows I will just call you out. And so round 2, there was almost a round 3, but I blocked the guy by that point, so I didn't even care. But he's like, here you go. Oh, this is his response. That's some butthurt right there. You're quite butthurt. Do you physically feel it too, or is it all just mental rage? I really wasn't butthurt. I was just more or less calling you out for what you are, but okay. Yeah, not predictable at all. Gee, I sure didn't, said twice, expect an insightful reply like that. Yeah, I'm really the problem with boarding as I snowboard down the hill. Man, that sure creates problems. Hey, loser, get more butthurt. Don't you have a board to wax in the back room or something? Get back to work, slave. Well, first you said I owned a business. Now you're saying that I'm a slave and I have... one, I don't even work in a shop anymore. I haven't worked in a shop in years.
12, 14 years, something.
No.
Or I guess lumberyard.
Well, I know I helped Deeds at lumberyard, but I mean after I got let go from the one job, I managed a full shop. I managed Colorado Freeride for a season until they ran that into the ground. And then, did I work at another shop after that? I can't remember. I remember I got so burnt out with the whole politics of shops, and I was trying to be like low-end, entry-level guy, and they kept trying to make me management. I was like, I don't want to be management. But, yeah, round two was pretty funny. A lot of people loved my sign-off that I gave this guy, but I was like, okay, so here it is. You're weak mentally. Your projections are just that. Yours, you have a whole slew of misinformation, which is comedic at best. And like I said, this guy was just projecting all sorts of bullshit. You're the one that's clearly upset and butthurt, which is true.
Yeah.
Why else would you go to such a length to name drop and talk up what others are doing? Could it be because you haven't done shit with your life? It's really easy to sit in the armchair and comment. Would you like me to prescribe a top 5 ways to cure your butthurt? It wouldn't take that much effort. I could do a whole top 5 for this guy on butthurt. And then I just basically called him out. I was like, you're the lowest common denominator of snowboard commenters. You have no leg to stand on, and you have nothing to give snowboarding. You remind me of the guy that wanted me to just do videos shitting on every YouTuber that vlogs. In the grand scheme of things, your insecurities are that you've never created anything, that you've never done anything, and that you know nothing. If you disappeared tomorrow, no one would know that you even existed, and that scares you. But rather than do something constructive to build yourself or others up, you want to tear them down. I might be the angry snowboarder, but at least I can back up everything I say with actions and real logic. You're just an emotionally stunted human that feels self-entitled. And in other news, you're now getting blocked because, frankly, you suck dicks with your butthole. That last sentence, so many people are like, I'm going to save that, which, as I said at the start of the year, this will be a very politically incorrect channel, and I'm okay with that. I have no problems with that. I've also decided that from here on out, any super haters like that, I will just call out. I will put them on blast socially, and I do not care. I do not give a fuck. I will link to this guy's YouTube channel, and if anyone wants to comment on it, go ahead. I really don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is the whole thing. Like, I will never be one of those people that claims, I'm a YouTuber. No, YouTube is the platform that we utilize for our videos. If something better comes along, you better believe I will jump ship. This is something I learned from Gary Vee. be prepared for anything. I check out all the new stuff that's coming out to see where it sits, but snowboarding always tends to be the last to the party when everyone else is accepting it or whatnot. So I sit back, I wait, I see what they're doing. I mean, podcasts have been huge for 5 years. Snowboarding just started getting podcasts in the last 2 years. Like the last 2 years, you know? It's funny. Like, you got to commend Kevin at Snowboard Pro Camp for being the first to really capitalize and be in the right spot to make YouTube into a business. But right now, like, my old thing is, how many different ways can we just figure out what we have to do to make money from every different angle to keep us afloat and to create the content that you guys know and love? And that's really where I'm at. I never, I will say a lot of contradictory things. I don't give a fuck. My opinions can change in like 10 minutes. I've had 23 concussions, my head injuries. I have no clue what's going on anymore.
I think I've had 5. I'm slacking.
No, you're winning. You are winning. I'm going to die of CTE. Probably just going to off myself in the next 5 years, but whatever. As I always joke with superfan Alan Russell, I'm like, I'll kill myself when my to-do list is finished, but it keeps growing, so I'm never going to be able to kill myself. Die of old age before that. And for all those people that don't like hearing stuff like that or that dark, deprecating humor, this is how I cope with the head injuries and the depression, is I shit on myself and I talk about killing myself on the regular. I'm like, every day I just start thinking, I was like, I could do it this way. It's kind of messy. Someone would have to clean that up. What's the best way to do this? I don't know. Plus, I kind of want to die of natural causes, but donate my body to the body farm so they can just leave me in the woods and animals can eat me.
There you go.
Because then, I'll taint all those animals and they'll become my demonic children.
Yeah, they will.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that is a fact, but that's pretty much what we've been up to. I mean, popped out a few product review videos, working on a few other projects, finally finished up all the die cuts I printed months ago, which I've been meaning to. So we'll be adding new die cut selections to Angrysnowboarderstore.com. Also proofing a bunch of new graphics and stuff for the March drop of apparel. So for all you guys that love merchandise and didn't get in on the last drop, it's coming in March. It'll probably be around the 15th. I'm working on some very limited stuff. Also, I've had a few people reach out because we keep talking about Angry Snowboards. Let's just say that has progressed on to the next level.
Yeah.
Nothing is written in stone.
No real decisions have quite been made.
But if it does happen, boards would be for the September drop, more or less, hopefully, depending on if we can get it into production early. They would be limited runs. Prices haven't been set, but talked to a few factories, and for all you people, this is another one. I get all these people that think that we're all just pro Nidecker now. There's like a whole contingent of people that think all we do is Nidecker reviews. There's like 300 snowboard reviews. There's not 300 Nidecker boards in the world.
Yeah, in the last month we've had a fair share of Nidecker reviews, but that's because we had Nideckers to review.
True.
So, and that's just kind of how the review process is going to go from now on is when we get a brand to review, we're going to ride as much of that stuff as we can, and we're going to put up the reviews. So you're going to get kind of like reviews in blocks with brands, basically. Yeah, that's just kind of the nature of the way it's going to work best for us. So that's how it's going to come to you guys. Yeah.
So that's really it. But just so people know, I've been talking with factories in China and the United States. This isn't going to be something where we pick one factory and then we do a line of multiple boards from it. I'm picking factories and companies that I like and I like their products and stuff that Kevin and I would back, and we're working with them. Yes, it is existing molds. We're not creating a product from the ground up. We're taking boards that we know and love and putting our graphics on them so that way with the markup and everything, that money will fund more projects.
Yeah. And it's not beyond question that we get to a point where we may get, a special edition Angry board that we actually design, but that may be a bit farther off just because of the financing.
The financing cost. We've got to open.
It's a lot more upfront cost to get that kind of thing started.
But yeah, we're talking with companies about different collabs and stuff like that, and so this is what we've been working on. And, you know, I know you guys get a podcast once a month, but we're trying to grow everything. If in the foreseeable future, when I launch a few more things, because this is my brainchild to bring this to fruition, you will see Kevin and I doing more projects. And if we can do more projects, you'll get more content. But the sneak preview of basically what I'm working on is to try to figure out a way to drive more revenue without advertising, per se, inside the industry with like endemic ads, but non-endemic, you know, like YouTube ads and stuff, so that we can hire a staff. My goal is by the end of 2019 to have a staff of up to 6 people, counting myself. So that's 5 other people to work, but that would be a full-time editor and filmer, a production assistant / researcher, a behind-the-scenes person, and I would love to find a female that could do product reviews.
Yeah, we mentioned this in one of the previous podcasts before that we are open to the idea and definitely would. We're taking applications more or less.
Yes,
it's
but
something
we're
we will
going to
entertain
be
for sure, and would love to get that going. But it's just it's hard. It's hard
and
for
we're
us to
going to
trust
be
somebody
we're going to
like
be
that.
picky about it. But it's pretty funny because I had some social justice warriors saying that I use guys and male descriptors too much, and I need to remember the females. And my response was, "Fuck off with your agenda," because that's how I am. You will know when I am being an ass, and you will know when I am fighting for a cause. But I will not start using words like cisgendered and fucking destroy the patriarchy and shit. I'm just going to do what the fuck I feel is right by snowboarding, and if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, well, then I'll try something else. Yeah. One other thing that I do want to mention is Shred Foundation was able to get 50 kids on snow for their first day this year. 4 years ago, they had 8. This year, they got 50 on there. We sent a huge package. A lot of you guys don't understand that we try to support this group more than anything. One, I'm a New Yorker. I grew up in rural New York, and it sucked. I fucking hate the town I'm from. Cattaraugus, New York can burn to the fucking ground. I really don't care. But the one good thing I had was that I had a ski resort 14 miles away, and it did it. And so Shred Foundation is more Eastern New York, like upstate area, not Western New York, like where I'm from. But Danny Hairston and his crew are doing a good thing. And everyone's like, oh, they're just getting inner city kids on that can't afford to snowboard. And I'm like, they're building these kids up with tools to teach them how to be better humans. And what was cool to see is, like, the gear that I sent over the last year, I can see those kids actually wearing the gloves, the pants, the boots, the bindings, the boards. And so, you know, it's not like other charities I see where you kind of wonder where the money goes or where the equipment ends up. This, like, I know that we're changing kids' lives, and I always say that, like, snowboarding will owe me nothing, and I will give everything I can back to it. So it's really cool for that to see. So you should always check out shredfoundation.org. Great cause, great charity. I think they do it right compared to other ones, and I'm really looking forward to see what they do next. Also, this episode of the podcast is brought to you by Rosenthal Snowboards. They're really good at selling skis.
They're really good at selling skis.
Great at selling skis.
Yep.
Yeah. They're a snowboard company that's great at selling skis.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. They're possibly the best snowboard company at selling skis. In fact, everyone listening should just buy Rosenthal skis.
Yeah, I could probably agree with that.
Yep. So this episode, 100% brought to you by Rosenthal Snowboards. I think. I don't know. They gave me money. It was great. They're like, here's money, go do projects. We don't, like, no restrictions. It's like, can I set a board on fire? Sure, they don't care. So
they don't care.
They're
great.
They're great. Rosenthal just doesn't, surprisingly, like, everyone's like, they've got to be the worst company to deal with. No, best company ever.
They're amazing. Yeah,
they're amazing.
Tom is great. I love working with Tom.
Yeah, and Nick. Nick,
Nick,
our local rep. Greatest thing ever. Nick, I need this and I need it by tomorrow. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Hey guys, when can I get that back? When we're fucking done with it, Nick. Okay, well, I'll just, okay, well, thanks, guys.
And then he'll go do a 270 front board because Nick fucking shreds.
Yes, Nick. Guy keeps getting older and gets better at snowboarding.
Dude, it's insane.
Yeah. He's doing better now than when he was a sponsored rider. I love it. So
it's great.
Yeah, Rosnell, love Rosnell. They're like, here's money, go do things. We'll leave you alone. Super core company.
Yeah,
okay,
really
you can't do anything else
out of that money. They really don't. Like so. Yes, Rossi gives us money, but don't think that they're. I mean, they're really not even getting anything out of us for it. They're just.
I really don't know. Yeah, they're kind of just like, here's some fucking money, and if you can find a place to plug us, we're good.
Yeah,
I love it. Like they used one of my quotes over in Europe in some magazine. They were like, they're like, the Angrysnowboarder says, and I was like, looking at this, and I was like, I said that.
It was in Germany or something, wasn't it?
France, I think.
Was it France?
No, it was Germany. It was some
German
snowboard publication.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it's really weird to use that in a print publication.
Yeah.
But, you know, the quote was something like, I used to hate Rosnell, and I thought that they would be out of business by now, but somehow they got their head out of their ass and did things right.
Yeah.
Those guys, like the Europeans are like, oh, Angrysnowboarder, Jesus, we just, well, we don't really know how to deal with him, but you just, he just does his thing and it turns out okay. Thank God they make good boards, but their bindings, oh God, their bindings could just, oh.
Yeah.
If they ever want to just like hire one of us to, like, I thought we were going to work on them with boots this year, but they haven't really hit us back.
Fell through.
Yeah, so.
I'll ask him about that. I'll see Tom here in a couple days. I'll ask him about boots.
Yeah, so anyways, this podcast brought to you by Rosnell Snowboards. They're great at selling skis.
Yep.
And we're going to go dive into some topics.